mysterious challenger or so. But I find the deck really fun, and I hope that that's the version that Lostov is playing.
Yeah, like initially though, when Patron came out, I thought it was really fun. Right? And then when it was refined, it started being a bit aggravating because it was everywhere. So my hope is that the same does not happen with Secret Pally and that it actually keeps being fun. Because right now I think most people would acknowledge that Patron and Secret Paladin are two of the best decks in the game. And depending on how things pan out, this might be that way for a while to come. Lostov with a pretty good hand here.
I think the reason why Patron like stopped being fun and it was like less fun and not fun at all is that there's very little like good counters. So the handlock is a counter, but outside of that, there's not that many cards that you can take in to like be good against Patrons. Yeah, Harrison Jones, but it's like just that. There's not too many counter strategies. So I think that with the Paladin deck, even if it gets like more and more popular, there will be more like potential for making counters against it.
Yeah, makes sense. Wow, alright, so I thought the hand from Lostov was good, and it turns out Lifecoach is able to pick up a Wild Growth into an Innervate Emperor, and it looks like, I was going to say he has no counter, but he just picked up the Savage Roar.
I mean, it's not perfect, but you can't leave that up.
Yeah.
It feels bad, but you have to do it.
Is Shredder ever better? Or is it too dangerous to give him like a 5-mana Ancient of Lore?
It's pretty risky. I mean, there's only 3 cards in the Lifecoach's hand, right? And Lifecoach is the top player. We can see it from the
the overlay. Yeah.
Yeah. So the graphics are like a little bit
skewed at the moment.
No, but it's okay. We can still see all the action.
All that action. He does go for the Shredder after all.
Oh, he does go for it. I mean, the Roar was so inefficient, but Emperor is a scary thing. It's scary even when it gets 1 trigger off, but it's gonna get 2 effects now. So a bit of a like gamble, but maybe the Roar there wasn't a winning play. He would be playing from behind the entire time. Now it's just in case that Lifecoach has a bad hand, and maybe like Innervates or cards like that, like the last Innervate Wild Growth, like the last Wild Growth, something along those lines. The Emperor value isn't that high.
Yeah, what I like too from this is that since you're not going all in, you still have a chance of recovering, even like from, as you said, instead of being from behind, and you're still curving pretty okay on turn 5. If you go for Shade plus Hero Power and Shredder hit into the Emperor, so maybe you can get yourself a double Shade point, Shade point eventually, and then from there maybe get a lethal later on.
Yeah, Lifecoach probably now wanting to find ways to protect his Emperor as well as he can. If he has something like Druid of the Claw to taunt, that would be quite good. Alright, just swiping.
Just swiping, and now in the exact same position Lostov goes, he's going to have to hero power down that Emperor, sacrificing the Shade in the process, but that's probably as good as he's going to get, and he's going to be able to play another Shade here, so really liking his play.
Second Shade to play here, so this it's worked out pretty well for Lostov. With all those discounts, so all Lifecoach did was he used 2 cards to deal with the Shredder, so the Shredder was excellent.
Yeah. One of the cards was also discounted from Emperor, and it's not a high impact card at this stage, like Swipe. The discount mattered because it allowed Lifecoach to deal with his opponent's board, but it's not necessarily winning the game so far. And even if Lostov goes down to 19, depending on what Lifecoach is holding right now, there's a good chance that he swings back in. Even with the Dr. Boom and the BGH being present, Lostov has a chance.
Right. So Lifecoach, like he's so low on cards, he might have an Ancient of Lore in his hand. We can't quite see it right now, but if he has that, and it's obviously being discounted by the Emperor, he would be able to play that and catch back up on the cards. But if he does not have any card, if Lifecoach does not have any card draw, he might be in trouble.
So Lostov is going to go for a taunt to Druid the Claw. You know, he's very consistent at least. We can't say anything else about it. He's trying to maximize the value he gets out of his Shade. I almost think at this stage it's defendable. Like, it's a play you can justify and explain. Just because the Shade's going to be able to get a 1-for-1, or you hero power it down next turn. But now the turn 6 curve is a little worse than it was on 5.
Not too concerned about the Emperor. That is interesting.
Yeah, it's only 17 coins, you know. Only.
Sounds bad.
Yeah, I remember a lot of people, saying that Emperor Thorson should be what Shadow Fiend is, the new priest card. The Emperor should have been when you draw a card, reduce the cost, but it would have been a lot worse. Oh my goodness, Lifecoach with a card draw in the Emperor. Now that is something to be scared of. If that doesn't get Lostov to react, nothing ever will.
Oh yeah.
Like this has to be.
And the 1-mana Wrath, is it, or some kind of innervate play?
Innervate Black Knight. I don't even know how much mana he's got right now, unfortunately. Alright. I was like, I can't see how much mana he's got. There's no way he had 11, but it would have been hilarious.
I believe he has 6 mana and he has spent 5 of it on the lore.
Now a swipe would do a lot of good to Lost. Actually, that's fine too.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah, that's fine. You can play with the Shade and cycle.
Yeah.
Still not out of it, and the trouble, like, it's a really difficult spot, but he can still recover.
Yeah, it's possible.
Like, if Lifecoach has a second Wild Growth and an Innervate in hand, then that Emperor wasn't too useful.
Right. If Lifecoach has only spells right now, if those 3 cards are all spells, even if they're combo, it's not enough. Like, Lostov is still at 24. Lifecoach needs to get some kind of minions on the board for the combo to be lethal. Really taking his time here.
Oh, we saw Lifecoach's hand for a second. Oh no, that was Lostov's. I thought we saw Lifecoach's hand there for a split second. I think it might have just been a different overlay. Yeah, we're trying to solve the problems with the overlays at the moment. Lifecoach is not letting us see his hand, so we can't quite discuss it. But it's interesting to play blind. Because you can assume... You can play as though you don't know what your opponent has, and as a caster, sometimes that's one of the biases you have. You see everything, so it's easy to make calls that the player just can't.
Like, oh, he's playing right into the swipe so bad, but it's like, well, there might not be the swipe. Oh, 4 mana, Dr. Boom.
That is disgusting, and Lifecoach is going to be, like, he's in an okay spot, but Lostov has a perfect answer to this board.
Yeah, the swipe and the big game hunter.
On 7 mana, too. It doesn't get better.
Yeah, definitely swipe and big game. I mean, there's no way he's doing anything else. Lifecoach is likely to be holding at least a roar, and if he doesn't swipe, there will be too many things.
I mean, Lostov might be considering... I mean, if the Shade doesn't even die, this is going to put Lostov in such a good position.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He was thinking about the Shredder, I think. I mean, if he plays the Shredder, he could potentially like attack with the Shade into the Aspirant.
And then, yeah, I could see that, but then the Boom Boss do a lot of work, if you think about it, because they kill the Shade, and then, yeah...
I really like the swipe BGH here.
I agree. And if the Shade lives, then all the better.
Yeah. The big game hunter is like, there's no way he's playing anything else, but I mean, he will play the big game for sure. But then after that, the decision is between the Shredder and the swipe.
Yeah, he's gonna. He can't be greedy with this.
He's going for the swipe. We can see it from this attack.
If you're recovering from a 3-turn Emperor Thorson, you have nothing else to ask for. That's enough.
Right.
Does the Shade live?
Whoa!
Whoa!
Load of the boom bots to face.
7 damage dealt to Lostov, but he's very well alive. Doesn't even die to combo just yet.
No.
And this is looking like it could turn around.
But wow, that's a big minion.
That's rough. Gotta roar this.
Yeah, that's gonna get like 3 for 1.
You know, I love how Lostov played this game so far. I have to say, I'm really impressed with the way he decided to let the Emperor live, play Druid of the Claw again, and let Lifecoach capitalize on the mana cost reduction, because he realized the moment he tried too hard to remove it, then he might have just fallen behind and died.
Yeah, I feel like like not killing going for the other place instead of like the sub-optimal place just to get the Emperor off the board has really paid off, and that's the reason why he's still in this game.
But now he's gonna have to start making awkward trades based on what we see here. He'd like to pick up a spell, maybe.
Yeah, like a Wrath, but now he has to go for the Roar.
What an awkward roar, but at the same time, I guess there's really no better way to deal with an Ancient of War.
He has to do it.
Let's see what Lifecoach has. He's played Ancient of War and Dr. Boom, 2 of his biggest threats, if not the 2 biggest threats that he's got. There might be a Lotheb lurking around, and a Azure Drake of his own.
I wonder what he's holding. It would be really interesting to see here. Like those 2 cards, I believe, are discounted. At least one of them is like heavily discounted. The one on the left side.
Yeah, it hasn't moved, so
yeah.
Could be a BGH. It's a tech card, right? You could expect the Lifecoach to hold it until he runs into a Dr. Boom.
Right. Could be something like a big game or like a combo piece, like one combo piece.
Right. He hasn't
It's
had an
possible he
opportunity
has
to use
both,
one.
but it would be off here.
Ah, looks like it's coming down, or is it? What was that?
It's not raw at least, so it's it's gonna be force of nature. That actually gives away a tiny bit of information. Oh, another
Double
lore!
discounts on lures for Lifecoach.
Wow.
He must be pretty happy about this,
That's
and
shade. He knows that. Well, I think both of the swipes are gone, right? So not too worried here, because otherwise, the swipe would be absolutely incredible from Lostov.
so would you just play Wrath Cycle, trade away the 4/4, and play Doctor Boom, or is that not good
Oh,
enough because you're looking to establish like a better board than this?
I think you have to do it.
Okay.
I mean, he could go for like panic heal here, but I don't think that's a winning play to go for a lore heal here. It would make him survive the combo, but that's playing to survive. It's not playing to win. Like Doctor Boom is the play to win.
All right.
That's the way I feel about it. I think you gotta drop it and just hope that there is no combo just yet, because those boom bots are excellent against the shade. Because the shade needs to come out of stealth, or if it doesn't, it might just die to the boom bots.
I mean, you say the panic heal doesn't quite work. Combo will kill him.
Yeah, that's true. But it's one of those moments where you like, if you want to win the game, you gotta take the risk.
Well, let's see if Lifecoach has it. There's a good chance he's been, drawing a lot of cards this game, despite the fact that he had a crazy ramp turn. Usually, the weakness of those ramp starts is that you don't draw, because you don't have the Ancient of Lore very frequently. But in this case, it lined up perfectly for Lifecoach.
He didn't just have a lore; he had both of the lores. So those made up for the lost cards in the Inner Weights and Wildcrowds. It seems like he doesn't have it just yet. I mean, Lifecoach is known for his slow playstyle, but if he had a Force of Nature Savage Sword in his hand, not even Lifecoach would take a long time here.
Alright, so there's no lethal for sure. There's no Ancient of Lore. There can't be 3. So there could be an Azure Drake. A swipe consideration definitely makes sense.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
Azure of the Claw. So he does have the Drake. Alright.
Even more Gotcha. Wow.
Picks up a swipe. Or Shade.
Another Shade. But those boombots, man. Those boombots.
They could win the game. These boombots could win the game on their own. Would a Savage Lord do it?
Oh! He had a swipe. He did have a swipe left.
What a crazy draw. So now he can swipe and Druid of the Claw. That's going to keep him very safe.
Do you try with the boombots first? Like, because you kind of want those boombots go off. If you swipe first,
yeah,
you can't kill the shades.
Yeah, you can't kill. You can't use your bots trade. First. You're right, Savage. Absolutely right.
See.
One down.
Oh, reaping pepperonis.
Oh, let's see if the second one ends up taking off the second shade. All right, so the Drake will end up going down.
Very good.
Oh, I heard you like shades.
Oh man, those are like the 3 minions from the 7-mana 7/7 basically, and one of them killed a 3/3 shade, the other one killed a 4/4 Drake. How insane is that?
Yeah, Dr. Balanced. He's not called Dr. Balanced for nothing, right?
Yeah.
So we have to keep in mind there are 2 Keepers of the Grove left in Lifecoach's deck. We haven't seen from either player a single Keeper, so both players have access to that card. In this case, I don't think it does much unless there's a BGH to go with it for Lifecoach, because that Dr. Boom is very well protected.
Right.
But it's
wrong placement of Shredder. You're supposed to put it in the middle.
Haven't you heard about that card that increases the attack of minion further away? Increase the attack of the furthest away minion by 3.
Right. Buffing the Dr. Boom to all the way to 9. I mean, if he gets a Force of Nature, I guess then it's correctly there, because you can like use the Force of Nature as a trading with the Flame Tank. You can like hit for 4 with the first treant, then you can hit for 4 with the second treant. So in that sense, like that's the correct placement. It's a Force of Nature Flame Tank positioning. Wow, Lifecoach roping. Who would have guessed? But it looks like that board is very difficult to deal with, so we can't blame him. Can't quite see him because he's card, but it's very hard to deal with.
Lifecoach has a Paladin Shredder. Is that a swipe? It is the Keeper of the Grove that he's got after all, but he's going to be taking so much damage. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's
There's going to be game, and Lostov is going to take it over Lifecoach.
Well played by Lostov.
I have to say, I usually don't get super impressed by Druid play because it comes down to who ramps first, but this was a very well-played game by Lostov, just showing how good he is as a player.
Yeah.
I saw him in the first kickoff season, but now it's confirmed even further.
Even I was calling on turn 4, like, you cannot leave an Emperor up! And he leaves an Emperor up, and the Shredder turned out to be like just amazing, like trading for both Swipe and the Wrath. It's like so good. Well played.
Yeah, so Lostov is going to take one game for the motherland, and Lifecoach is still having to win with his Druid deck. There's a Warlock and a Paladin. How good do you think Druid fares against these two decks right now?
Yeah, it depends. Like, how does he play those Living Roots, for example? Because I think Living Roots is really good against Paladin. Because you get those small minions to trigger, like, the secrets and stuff. Or trade with something, or use it to do damage, so... It can work out, but also, like, the Divine Favor, I guess it can kind of punish the Druid. There's a lot of things to go into consideration. I'm a little bit, like, just guessing here, because I haven't seen the matchup so much.
Alright, so Lostov is on Warlock, or is he? Alright, Lostov is on Warlock.
Yes.
And Lifecoach is on the Druid.
Yep.
Hmm.
Alright, then Wild Growth and an Aspirant.
What do you think? So that's a really big question, right? Like we talked about earlier, when you get the Wild Growth, you throw away the Darnassus, because you don't need double ramp. Now Lifecoach had the Darnassus and kept it, and then suddenly he picked up Wild Growth. How does he feel about that? Because I mean, it's double ramp, but now one of the two cards seems like it's a bit wasted, I guess.
I think it's fine. Like, it's not too bad. Like, if he had both of those, it probably would throw one of them away, but it's a pretty nice ramping here. Like, because against the handlock, you know that there's gonna be 2 taps, or if there's not 2 taps in a row, like turn 2 and turn 3, if those are not tap, then the Mountain Giant on turn 4 will be unavailable. So, like, he can get a turn 3 Druid of the Claw here, most likely.
Alright, so I guess if no tap, then return, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Alright. So it looks like the Acidic Swamp Boots is going to be played as a tempo tool. Can't really, say anything about that play. It's just too sensible. It's going to kill the Darnassus Aspirant, deny the further ramp. Lostov played Kazan Mystic and Druid, and he's playing the Ooze and a Warlock, so he's definitely making sure that his weak spots are covered.
Right.
And he's looking like the transition to the mid game is going to be better than Lifecoach's based on what I'm looking
looks
at here.
that way, because the Lifecoach actually doesn't have a play for next turn. This is very bad, because he loses the Mana Crystal from the Oh!
Do you?
Oh.
I was going to ask
so
you
weird.
right before it was drawn. I'm like, if you tell like Innervate, do you play Druid of the Claw? And now I have to actually ask you the question, because it's delaying your Ancient of Lore by a lot.
I don't think you play this. The thing is, if you don't innervate the Druid of the Claw here, you are kind of wasting 4 mana, because the Hero Power to face is not meaningful. But another thing about that is that then he doesn't have a play for next turn.
Right.
Like,
whereas now his curve could be a little off, but at least he's got a curve if he waits.
If he had a double 5-drop in his hand, I think you absolutely innervate the Druid of the Claw. But because of not having a play for next turn without the like if you innervate the Druid of the Claw, there's just nothing he does next. I like this. Makes sense. Getting a lot on turn 5 is quite good. Like, the Warlock struggles at dealing 5. Drake Coil, well, that's one of the better ways, if not the best way to deal 5.
It has to be the best way, pretty much. Lifecoach picking up another useless card at this stage of the game. But at least he can't top deck Darnassus Aspirant later, I guess. It's pretty pretty awful now, but he's going to have to keep on to the Innervate, like hold on to the Innervate. Apparently he feels like playing minions now is better. Interesting. So
it was really interesting line of play, but I think it's quite good. Like, the Aspirant is protected behind the taunt now, so it has good chance to survive the next turn. I mean, if there was something like a Dark Bomb on it now, the next turn would be quite bad.
If there was a Dark Bomb from Lostov, he would only have 3 mana left over, right? So the question is, what would he play? So that's probably what Lifecoach thought when he made the play with the Innervate.
Right. That is true.
All right, so I'm kind of liking Lifecoach's line to play. Both players playing pretty well. Lifecoach got a bit of a difficult start without finding a 4-drop or a consistent 5-drop without the Innervate play. But it's looking like if the Ancient of Lore picks up something decent, he can transition into the late game. Maybe enough to contest. Oh my god, he's going to go for the Shadow Flame.
Wow, and it's going to pay off. Unless Lifecoach like finds something to play.
Emperor Thorson. Nope, it's a shade.
Well,
not too bad.
It's
it doesn't kill a mountain giant.
Average,
it doesn't kill a mountain giant.
One of the smaller things, like even Strayer would have been better. 5-drops would have been great, and like I guess Emperor would have been the best top deck. But he would have also picked up a Wrath, and then he had nothing to play.
I liked Lostov's Shadow Flame here.
That was really spot on. Like Lostov really playing well.
He's on top of his game, and now a decent top deck for Lifecoach. But it feels a little awful to throw it into an 8-8.
Yeah.
The upside is, if you throw it into the 8-8, you can finish it off with a swipe, probably. But you can still do that with Ancient of Lore.
I like the lore. You might pick up something like a Wrath, and then with the Wrath and lore combined, you can take that out. And also, if there's another giant potentially coming up, then you have better chance to find the big game hunter. I don't see the point of war. Like
there's no reason to. Absolutely none. I mean, you open yourself up to an owl and to rest in peace your board, which is just not something you're happy with ever.
Let's see what it gets.
Oh, hello. Double swipe.
Yeah, I mean...
That's a lot of face damage.
It's not like too exciting, but it's something.
Lifecoach's hand is very clunky if he wants to win. It's the type of game that you're happy with, like against a zoo player, say, where you have options to wait and let the game drag on a bit. But against a handlock, you're looking to close the game a bit faster than this.
Yeah. Do you like the Lothep or the Belcher better? I think I like the Lothep.
I like the Lothep a lot more because the giant is less likely to die, and if it does, it's forcing a trade from the shade, and then your 5/5 can contest a bigger minion as well.
It's pretty well. Like it protects the giant from a Wrath, basically.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, like it still dies, but of course it's better to die to a Wrath here than dying to a... Like it's gonna cost him a lot of mana if he plays Lothep. But now the Belcher was played.
Yep.
That's giving Lifecoach a good double swipe turn. Is it? Kind of.
Pretty good, yeah.
It's alright. Maybe Keeper of the Grove swipe is better and you attack the Belcher with a 4/4, but then you're giving your opponent a good coil.
Yeah, it's I like the double swipe more. It's still like it doesn't feel perfect. But yeah.
It's a bit awkward, right?
Great, but the other options just seem even worse. It looks like at least one swipe has to happen. What
about you Keeper the Grove down the giant and you swipe the Belcher and then you pass?
It feels pretty bad to use the Keeper on that because you know that there's also... Well, one Twilight Drake was played already. So maybe you don't need to save the Keeper for the last Drake. There's a fair chance that it will never get drawn or... Yeah. Okay.
He's going for it. Goes for the Keeper swipe and then he passes at the end. Yeah, that seemed like the play that kept him in the game for a bit longer to maybe get some kind of crazy combo and decent removal.
Right.
So not disliking this at all from Lostov, but it looks like... I mean, Ragnaros is tempting, but then you can't coil. So maybe a Lothep play with coil would be better.
Like Lothep Sun, Fury Coil, or something along those lines.
Right, that's kind of what I'm looking at now. I really like the way Lostov has been playing this. Honestly, both players... Like, sometimes you see the matchup and it's a complete blowout, but this hasn't been the case, despite the fact that Lifecoach had a pretty weird ramp hand over Lostov's handlock.
Yeah.
That Shadow Flame from Lostov, I have to think about that one again.
It was so good. Like, he was playing around the turn 6 Lord there, or turn 5 actually, I think it was with the Wild Growth, but he knew that at 7 mana, his opponent would lore, or Dr. Boom, and neither one was good for him. So it's a very smart, very heads-up play there to Shadow Flame so early.
Alright, no way you're gonna get the combo off, says Lostov. Lifecoach doesn't have it anyway, so he doesn't care too much.
With the Lothep effect up, he decided that he doesn't even need the Sunfury Protector. And at that point, like before the tap, he also... The one Sunfury was the only taunt in his hand, so it makes sense to not use your only taunt there when it's not necessary.
Lostov, still in an okay position.
Yeah.
Got the Owl. He's got the Moltens for later. Usually you die before the Moltens come down. If the Druid is OTKing you from a combo point, maybe you're not able to develop Moltens. So we'll see. He's got a Heal Bot, Dark Bomb,
Yeah.
Owl. Lots of things he can do this turn, all of which are pretty good. I like Owl, Heal Bot, Dark Bomb, and trade the Belcher away.
I'll heal bot Dark Bomb. Yeah, that's not too bad.
Maybe there's a better play.
The Owl, like, it seems like the Owl would be good, because it's like 2 mana, Battlecry, deal 5 damage. So Hellfire doesn't really like clean up. You could send both of your minions into range of war and Hellfire, but that's not so good. It's also like, maybe he can avoid playing the heal bot here, because he does have double Moltens in his hand. Let's see.
I'd be scared of the combo. I'd be like very scared now that Lothab's out of the way.
Yeah, he did tap, so I think because he had Dark Bomb and the Sun Fury, then it has to be that way.
He's got a few defensive options, so whatever he ends up doing, he has to at least make sure he doesn't die to combo, which is what you have to play around the most in a matchup like this. Okay. But Lifecoach has the Swipe and the Wrath.
With the double Moltens, I can understand this, because now he gets to avoid healing up, because you don't want to heal up when you have 2 Moltens in hand.
Right.
You need to get those played first. So I think that was a good play. And he would not even be dead to the combo.
Lifecoach, the Swipe, Hero Power. Puts his opponent on 5.
Yeah. And Force of Nature, Hero Power
might be better.
Could be like full clear. He could use 1 Force here. It's pretty clunky to have 2.
Wrath for Cycle I could see as well, because he's looking for that Savage Lord to seal the game. At this stage, I think that's what he needs the most. Oh, wow. Huh.
Dr. 7.
Yeah. More like Dr. 13.
Here you go. This is the Force of Nature. Choosing to keep the Swipe over then, because the Swipe would have also been good here, but it's like he values this signals that he values his Swipe higher than the second Force of Nature, which makes sense. Like, why would you need 2 Force of Natures? You can't cast 2 on the same turn anyway.
Lifecoach not playing around Clockwork Giant. Keeping the excess mana.
It would have been the same amount of cards still.
No, he could innervate out Hero Power.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. God forbid. God forbid.
He knows that the Lothar is already gone, so that's ideal. Or if he has a Chromacus in his deck, he can draw 2 cards after he plays the Chromacus next turn.
If Lostov kills this Shade, Lifecoach's dreams will be crushed.
Yes, this is such a big moment.
This Shade has been saved for the opportune moment, which looks like it should be soon, but...
Oh!
Alright, Lostov.
Good news for Lifecoach.
Ball's back in your court, Lifecoach. Do you pick up that BGH? Well, that's a good pickup either way. Let's just put it that way.
How much is that? No, it's not enough. So the 3 ants would need to go into the taunts.
It's not enough.
9 plus 2. 11.
You could play Dr. Boom Wrath to 2/3 here. Or was your Wrath? I don't know.
It's like a bit risky. It feels so bad to leave up
there. It's awful, yeah. Well, actually, double
Swipe and Wrath and no, but can you use your face on the rag at this point? Like, it would go down to 10. It's pretty scary.
Alright, so wait. Let's think about like the possibility of a Dr. Boom play. Could you cycle Wrath and sacrifice your Shade?
Huh.
If you play Dr. Boom. I mean, you're so vulnerable to BGH after that point, though.
I think he's just going to kill that right now. Keep the Shade. He's going to use his face to tank it. Oh, man.
That feels bad, but at the same time, if you've got a Force of Nature, Savage World, Lethal looming, maybe you just take it.
Yeah, and just 2 Dark Bombs is not enough. Actually, I think we saw at least 1 Dark Bomb already. Maybe even 2. I like it. That was good.
Oh, double heal bot.
But this is going to be a heal, but absolutely. Does he have to play 2 in order to survive? Because the Shade is going to deal 10, and the face is going to clear the taunt. So there's going to be 22 damage.
2 damage. It's going to be 1 off of lethal.
It would be 1 off, so he can play Molten and Healbot. He doesn't have to go to Healbot. Wow.
The question is whether or not he thinks being greedy with the Emperor is worth it.
No way. There's no way.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty like clear Molten Healbot. But if he decides for some reason to tap Molten Heal, but he would die. I think the combo is such a big consideration. It would be one off. This is just the perfect play.
Yeah, it looked like Lifecoach was trying to clear the way for the combo by attacking the Ragnaros last turn, so you have to have a tell. Yeah. Lifecoach with the one-off lethal seems like it happens every single time.
Yeah.
22 damage.
Really bad situation.
Looks like the end to me.
Yeah. I mean, he can like combo and clear.
You can kill the giant if you want. I mean, you could Force of Nature Shredder and clear the giant with your shade, but or your Treants are and keep the shade stealthed to get another round of damage. But you're gonna have to top deck pretty hard to get out of this.
Yeah, he even has to unstill the shade for the kill like a 2/2 to survive the Hellfire. Oh man. Yeah. So the Treants are gonna clear the giant and the heal, but if Lifecoach does not kill off the 2/2 with his shade, he would lose the game. He has to clear it. He knows that Jaraxxus and Hellfire kill him. He has to do it.
He makes the trade, still playing properly until the very end. Now Lostov has to reply. Oh, wow, that's convenient.
Yeah, there's the answer to shade, just in time. Not as good as Big Game Hunter, but still gets the job done.
Yeah, give a target minion, you know, -6, -4. That's pretty sweet for 2 mana.
That must be so disappointing. That shade was on the board for how many? Like 6 turns, 7 turns, and
she's been waiting, man. She's been waiting all her life for this moment, and she killed a 2/2. Yeah. How disappointing! What a bad life she's had. Poor little thing. She was in Ragnaros' sniper advisor.
Wrong. Yes, Lostov is the winner. Lostov up 2-0 now.
Yeah. 2-0 for the motherland over Lifecoach. This is not looking too good for Lifecoach at this point, because even with good matchups, it's still pretty hard to climb a reverse sweep in a best-of-5 like this. So we'll have to see if Lostov can seal the game with his last deck. He's bringing Paladin.
Oh no, it was the Paladin, right?
What?
Is it no mysterious challengers?
No, Lifecoach was playing Evil Heckler.
Oh wait, what? No way.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I was looking at.
Yeah. He was playing Evil Heckler.
Oh man.
Evil Heckler power creep confirmed.
Are you kidding me? I'm not sure if you're trolling.
I promise you, it was a 4-mana 5/4 with taunt. Hit like Lostov's mom was a Murloc. That's all I know.
Oh, it smells like leper now.
Your mother was a Murloc. BM level.
So, like, I don't know how can Blizzard let this happen. Like, just insults. In the game.
Yeah, like how can I play after I get insulted like this?
It should be like PG-18 or something. Like, I don't know.
Well, it might ramp up, right? We might eventually get like Evilest Heckler.
Evilest Heckler.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a 6-mana 7/5 with taunt, like a creep overlord of the arena, and then and then it's just like the insults ramp up.
No.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And then you can make like a full Heckle deck.
Yeah. Your father is a face hunter.
Face hunter.
Your father is a face hunter.
You should be playing face hunter.
Yeah. Well, that's a little bit too much. Like we have to draw the line somewhere.
Right, we gotta tone down the BM.
Yeah.
Alright, so Lifecoach gets to defuse the juggler bomb that tends to fall down and win games on its own. Turns out Lostov is not going to be able to capitalize on it, and Lifecoach is likely to be able to get his Keeper of the Grove to stick on the board. I mean, his Darnassus Aspirant on the following turn.
Yep.
But do you Hero Power instead to make sure you remove any chances of your opponent abusing the minion on board?
I don't think there's like that many ways. I mean, there could be like Master for Battle, I suppose, but that's pretty much it. Like Master for Battle, then the Minibot and the Master would clear that. But the Minibot and Master would still... No, wait, no. Right, because if he killed the Minibot, then yeah.
Master
so he would have been protected against Master.
Would have been alright. It really depends about around what he wants to play. And looks like Lostov has an okay hand, but if this hand doesn't get the job done and snowball out of control, then it's going to be really hard to establish a board if you're playing card for card against a Druid.
That's pretty such a weird card. It's like if you play it later on, it's so bad. So I can understand like trying to kind of aggressively play it. Wow! Some big plays right here. Oh
He's
my
afraid of a 5-drop, but it doesn't matter because Lifecoach has a 4-drop. Lifecoach is super happy about this. We saw him react very happily to this, and understandably. I mean, he gets to clear the board, play a Shredder, force the Paladin to develop a True Silver champion that doesn't really kill anything, and then he even picks up a 5-drop to go with it. Lifecoach in a great position.
Big plays. Like, Lostov was hoping to mess up Lifecoach's curve there, but I don't know, like, equality against a deck where you know that there's things like Ancient of War, the 5/10. Like, I would value equality a little higher than that, to be honest.
Yeah,
but I guess it was like he was hoping Lifecoach wouldn't have a drop on turn 4 with 4 mana.
Because what Lostov was probably thinking is, if he had a 4-drop, he would have hero powered down my 2/2.
Right, that's
which
true.
means if he didn't hero power it down, then it means he wants to ramp into 5, which is why he played the Aspirant.
Yeah,
that's definitely the line of thinking.
It looked like he really wanted to ramp to 5.
Yeah,
it did look like that.
Feels like I'm playing. I'm watching poker right now because it's really. This was really like a mind game so far. This game was all about what I'm representing more so than what I've got, and Lifecoach must feel pretty comfortable and in his element in a position like this.
Yeah, I wonder if Lostov is playing double equality because he burned through the first one so recklessly. Like, there might be another one in there because that would then I could understand it a little bit better because you know that okay. Well, there's still another one somewhere in there, so once we get to the later turns, when there's the Ancient of Wars coming down and things like that, there's still like a chance that he would draw the equality before it, or at the same time.
Well, Lostov was going to be in a good position, but now the second keeper from Lifecoach will establish dominance.
Yep. Well, I mean, it feels bad to play it, because you know that eventually there's going to be something like Tyrion coming, but it's such a powerful turn here.
There's an argument to be made for Druid of the Claw, trade the Shredder away, I guess.
Right.
You could probably justify that play, but it's so much weaker to stuff like True Silver Champion, because then you would lose the Druid of the Claw to the board. A Blessing of Kings would also punish you pretty severely.
Yeah.
Although you could keep the Grove afterwards. I think that it really depends on what Lifecoach wants to play around.
It's a difficult turn. It's a difficult turn. Like, none of the plays seem perfect. Like, I've been in this situation so many times, and if I use the second keeper, I start being really scared of Tyrion Fortune.
Yeah, even Blessing of Kings. Nothing scares me more than a Blessing of Kings without keeper. It's so scary.
Oh man.
I mean, Lostov is playing this pretty well, considering he doesn't mind baiting the keeper, knowing that he's got the True Silver Champion ready to, deal with it. And that could be his ticket to swing back in the game, and he's got the Sylvanas too. This is not a secret valley for sure.
Yeah, Sylvanas is a great card against the Druid. Druid often struggles to deal with that, because Druid doesn't have those small minions. Okay, with Living Roots, there's some small minions that the Druid can throw on the board to maybe mess up the Sylvanas. But other than that, all of the minions from the Druid are quite valuable. And with both silences gone, the Sylvanas value, it should be great.
Yeah, if you look at Lostov's position, he's thinking, if I choose over champion, what do I, like, if I kill a keeper, what does that prevent my opponent from doing? I mean, he can't possibly play Emperor Thorson here. He can't possibly play anything but like a Belcher. The Azure Drake doesn't feel too good, although he might do it. There's a lot of plays that are prevented from the True Silver Champion. The threat of it is enough to make Lifecoach just a little scared. I wouldn't be surprised to see Lifecoach just charge it. It's so ridiculous of a position to be in.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, with the card draw and the double roar, I think you're bound to find the Force of Nature by the end of the game. So charging looks like you should be able to get another wave of damage off of the Shredder.
It should be. So it's interesting. He might be worried about the Kings, and I don't know. The Druid of the Claw is like happening, but do you taunt it or do you charge it?
He's taunting it up, it seems. I mean, it deals the same amount of damage either way.
No, not really. I mean, it would be 8.
It could have dealt twice the damage. You're right. It could have dealt 8.
It would be 8, yeah. No, it's 4 instead of 8. But it will get the Divine Shield from the mini bot.
For how much does that count, right?
I don't know. Is it worth 4 damage? That's the question, I guess.
Is the Divine Shield worth 4 damage? I have to say no to that. See, there it is! I told you it was in there! I told you it was in there.
I want to hear it from like yeah, good God.
I can tell you right now why it's there. It's for Belchers. It's like the obvious uptrade. I mean, it kills so many things, but the problem is it's kind of weak to Shredder. But it might have hit that sweet spot for Lifecoach, where if you play it with Shredders, you're double dipping into the 4-drop value, and it's good enough to save you in many cases. I mean, it kills high mains, it kills Sylvanas and does a trade, it kills Emperor Thorson, it kills Lotheb, it kills a lot of things.
Yeah.
Which is probably what makes it good enough for him.
It's so weird though. Like.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's amazingly weird.
The stats are just I don't know. All right, well here comes Savage Roar.
We're all in. No, we're making trades. All right.
See these deals. Oh, 3-2. You can follow it up with the evil heckler. But
what a great heckler! Look at this heckler. Look how good it is. It's gonna die to the Showstopper champion.
Yeah. So good. Deals 5 damage though.
Deals 1 with Aldor Beastkeeper. But it's forcing the Aldor out, I guess. So. Not necessarily. Does it force the Aldor out or you just hero power?
I don't think he has to Aldor here, because Lifecoach is only gonna have 8 mana. So there's no combo, but plus he has a 15, so he wouldn't even die to the combo. Now the Aldor is gonna happen on that. Oh!
That could actually create a huge swing if a Shade gets picked up.
Yeah, but
no
he doesn't.
Shade.
Okay, this is the Harrison Aldor.
Yeah, I can't imagine it wouldn't be.
Like now you have to Aldor. There's no way you can face tank the 5 when the Druid is about to hit 9 mana.
Yeah, I mean the only time where you're happy to face, well, happy, that's a big word. Is like if you have a lay on hands on the back.
Right.
But even then it feels a little awkward because Aldor would probably be better for tempo even in that situation. And now I guess the question is, do you play Shredder or Harrison Jones? Harrison dies to swipe. Shredder would leave you with a board.
Yeah, Shredder's like. I mean, the Harrison is like more mana efficient.
Well, it could be. The thing is, Harrison is also mana efficient next turn with your 4-drop.
That's true. It's like you could still go like Harrison and Consecration. It's a close call. I'm not sure actually which one is right. I guess the 5/4 can kind of trade better.
Yeah, with the Ancient of War 5/4 plus.
Yeah.
Like your entire board could trade into Ancient of War if it gets played.
Yeah, that's true. Like if he plays a Shredder, it would have been 1-off from trading with that. He would have had to like use the Consecration too. Oh, that's the second piece of combo.
Lifecoach has a lethal next turn unless things change.
I think you hero power face definitely, because then he has 15 from hand. If he innervates the Shade here and there's a Consecration, he loses the lethal. You gotta just hero power. 1 plus 15 is 16. Go for it.
But it's so much weaker to lay on hands.
But that's like the only thing.
Yeah, you're right. Do you play around that 1-of? You've seen 2 True Servers, so most of the healing is gone. You don't expect heal bot necessarily. It might be a thing, but
yeah, this might be one of those times where it's like it's so much easier to be a caster.
Right, exactly. Like you see the hands, so you know Lifecoach just hits the face. But I think in many cases you could like Wrath or like Innervate Shade instead of
like,
heal
see
power.
The cost, you're like, oh, hero power face, like that's
do it, Lifecoach. Alright, so apparently he's gonna play a little bit of a slower game. He thinks he's got a few more turns to go.
I mean, there could have been a lay on hand, so. Or Taunt. Taunt would have done it too. Taunt and just trade the 5/4 into the lore. Something like Tyrion Forging, for example. That would have stopped it completely.
He's playing around Tyrion and lay on hands and any sort of healing at all. Even a Belcher would have been a problem if you think about it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cards in a potential Paladin deck that's mid-range that could stop this.
And like the Jouster thing, if it wins the Joust, heals for 7.
Oh man. It's everywhere now. It's good though, it's a great card. I'm pretty happy Pai's got it. Frustrating when it doesn't work, but
yeah.
Otherwise a pretty good card. Top deck a swipe. Oh, hello Jake, how are you doing?
It's flying.
Did it just glitch the spectator mode?
Yeah.
Did
Good job, man. Lifecoach's playing too fast. Yo, slow down, man.
Lifecoach is playing too quickly. There's more than one action per 2 minutes. Wow. Rest in peace, Drake.
It's really like frequent problem with this guy. Like, he plays way too quickly.
Yeah, Lifecoach is way too fast at playing. I've told him multiple times, Lifecoach, you gotta take your time, think your moves through, You know, stop doing this.
Okay, so what we saw from like the hovering and stuff, I think he played his Shade after the Drake and then he robot phase, so...
Yeah, so now
Like-
Lostov's on 15.
Yeah.
Or actually, he
So
might have
like-
killed the 1-1. There's a chance he killed the 1-1 instead.
There is, but I think it was like the target thing was to phase. Yeah, he's down to 15.
He's down to
Okay,
15.
This is gonna be the game with the inner vet combo.
Alright, so it looks like Lostov is well on his way to stabilize. Not actually. Wait, is he dead? He's dead. Rest in
Yeah,
peace.
he's dead. He has the combo plus inner vet hero power.
Yeah, Lifecoach did have the innervate still. He didn't play it earlier, so that's gonna be game. Exactly 15 damage coming down to 1 health difference for Lostov. Alright, we saw some interesting plays. I really appreciated the mind games earlier in the game where we saw Lifecoach try to represent a 5-drop and Lostov fell for it. Lostov completely thought that Lifecoach had the 5-drop he was representing, and he equality the Darnassus Aspirant, which just goes to show how dangerous that card is in many people's minds.
Yeah. Oh wow. That was like a pretty big deal. It was actually looking kind of fine for Lostov when he played Sylvanas and Lifecoach had somewhat awkward turn, but that combo, man, the damage was already dealt. Lifecoach got so much damage early with his minions.
Yep, I think like the play that Lifecoach made that really allowed him to negate the Sylvanas with the Savage Roar and to trade the Shredder and then kill his own ooze that he fed to the Sylvanas also allowed him to stabilize pretty nicely. When he picked up that Shade later, it looked like he was going to get the lethal off of it, but he didn't need it, so he was very stable. So Lifecoach could still equalize against Lostov. The Paladin deck has to win twice. Against one of 2 decks from Lifecoach. So with the Warlock and the Warrior left, everything's not completely lost.
Lost of. Yeah.
Oh god.
Everything is not lost.
Why?
So did you see any TGT cards from Lostov's Paladin?
No. I mean,
so.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a Tuskar Jouster in there, but the mid-range Paladin lists are still very similar to what they used to run. I think a lot of people subbed out perhaps a Healbot for a Jouster, just because it's like more versatile, it trades better.
And like the Murloc spawner at 4 mana.
You're
like,
right. That should be in there. There it is. Yeah, it should be in there. I mean, I don't see why not. It's such a sick card.
Yeah, I was gonna say that we did see 2 Shredders and stuff like that, so maybe it wasn't there, but there you have it.
Yeah, it's hard to justify not putting this guy in, honestly.
It's really good. It's amazing, like the compared to like all the 3/5s and stuff, it's only 1 less toughness, and the upside of it, like it's so crazy good on turn 6, and if it survives multiple turns, oh man. There's like a small chance when you play it on turn 6 and you hero about it. There's a small chance that you just win the game when you get the right Murloc if the game is really close. If you get something like a 2/5 which draws cards, the Shaman one, or if you get like old Murkai or another one of the same. No weapon for Lifecoach. It's a bit rough. He does have the Emperor. There's like some nice things in there, but all minions. Oh, 1 shield block. 1 shield block. So he has 1 spell, but aside from that, all minions. No weapons. Weapons are the most important thing, Alien.
Well, it's looking like Lostov just keeps curving pretty well. I mean, that shield mini bot would have been better last turn, but it's still okay here since he's got no alternative to the play. But he's curving into either True Server for defensive purposes, Shredder to be offensive, and then can play Murloc Knight on turn 6 immediately with a trigger. So
yeah, the Shredder should be coming out first. It's against the Warrior. It's just so much more pressure and so resilient to like a Death Spite.
Lifecoach will try to get his weapons. I can't imagine he would do anything with shield block here.
I think he has to shield block to try and find the weapon. Without the weapon, the board is only gonna keep getting worse.
I mean, he's got the Emperor.
That's
so
true.
the moment he finds any way to transition to a good, coin Emperor, because he will get there. There's no way he doesn't. Even if it means he plays the Dread Corsair on an empty board, then he's gonna be able to go for a coin Emperor, and then it's a crazy follow-up with Warsong Commander Patron on 6 against the Paladin.
Alright. He's thinking it through. What other options are there? Could you just play like 1 Warsong here? Yeah, it does have 2. It's like a taunt. 2/3 taunt. Nah, I like the shield block. Try to find the weapon. No, execute. That is completely worthless for now. It might prove useful later on, but for now, doesn't do anything.
And Lostov is curving really well. I mean, he's got his Powder
Yeah.
Shredder into True Silver, into Murloc Knight, into Dr. Boom.
That's a lot of pressure. That zombie chow has already connected to phase 3 times.
Yeah, more than it cost. Oh, the weapon comes
he
out.
got the weapon. That is a huge draw.
Yeah,
that
with
puts
Dread
Lifecoach back
Corsair.
in the game.
Definitely a good pickup with the Dread Corsair set up. Lifecoach is going to get his health back. He's like, Zombie Chow, you're done.
Yep.
Go back home.
Back to full. Do you drop the Corsair?
He's thinking about not doing so because he might get more value out of it later.
Right.
What? I mean, it's going to be better value with Warsong if you're hoping to play it with that. But right now, it still has the potential to take out the shield and kill the 1/1 or kill the Shredder straight up, depending on what you assume your opponent's holding.
I kind of like just playing it here. I don't think it's that important to save for later, basically.
It's only good if you've got a Death Bite with like Warsong, Patron play, and with the Frothing, say, very, very late in the game. But this game doesn't look like it's headed there just yet. And this is the strength of Paladin. If they get the curve, they can be very aggressive about their plays.
If Lifecoach had an Inner Rage here, or a Whirlwind, he could have considered going for the Patrons with the Death Spite, Death Rattle, and the Inner Rage or Whirlwind, but without those effects, the Emperor seems like the clear play.
Yep. So it looks like Lifecoach with this Frothing Berserker pickup has a chance to land a crazy lethal late, like very soon. Give him about 2 more turns if he lives. This could be a complete blowout. And more minions on the board, always useful when you're trying to Frothing your opponent down.
Oh.
I mean, you have to send the Patrons out now, right?
Yeah, I think you have to, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even need to use the Death Bite yet. You can wait for the Frothing to do that, but you can just...
So you first attack into the 1/1, right? Yeah, and then you go for the Death Spite thing. So
if he wants to use Death Bite, yeah, definitely. But...
Alright, let's see what comes out of that. 2-3! Well, that's good news for Lifecoach. He did not want to see a 3-2. Because now he gets to kill it for free. Everyone, get in here!
Yeah, everyone got in here, and now the Consecration from Lostov, unfortunately not quite enough. He needs to pick up his equality.
Yeah, well the good news is kind of the board should be somewhat full, so he might be able to stop the Patrons from multiplying even more.
Yeah, there's a good chance that the Patrons end up stopping here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, no, one of them...
No, you know, actually, yeah.
It's still gonna be tough, because there will be at least 1 Patron extra at the end of this. 2 of them will be at 1 health. 2 of them would be at 1 health at the end of this.
Yeah, but I mean, oh, he missed an attack. Well, that was a bit... I don't know how that happened. I mean, he had plenty of time to do it. It seemed fairly straightforward.
Dr. Boom seems like a waste.
Yeah, you gotta consecrate here. There will be 2 3-1 Patrons remaining, but those are incapable of reproducing, so you're kinda okay with it.
Yeah, you're guaranteed to take 6. But usually 6 is something you can tank.
Yeah.
It is the entire board you can't tank. I mean, that's way too much.
Yeah, but this is an excellent matchup for the Warrior. It's always been, and it seems like after TGT, still like
pretty good,
Patron Warrior beats mid-range Paladin. It used to be one of the easiest matchups, and it still is.
You think you were getting out of it, Lostov? Well, you're not. Looks like Patrons are coming back. Everybody's getting in here again.
Oh man!
Lifecoach
was already here.
Looks like he should be equalizing, honestly. Like this looks like a victory.
It does.
Looks like one. Might not quite be one, but could still pick up the equality consec.
And it's like 2 innervates and the equality consec.
Yeah,
those are not gonna do it. And with that Inner Rage, I believe that is lethal. He has 14 on the board, and Inner Rage is going to add another 5 damage. No, is he 1 off?
Well, with the Frothing, I think it's
he has a Frothing too. Yeah, that's gonna do it. That is true. I missed, yeah, the Frothing is going to seal it.
Oh, he didn't even need it. Never mind.
Oh, he didn't. Oh, yeah. Right. My math is just a bit off.
It's fine, it's fine. Everybody does the Amaz math once in a while. So Lifecoach is going to take this and goes 2-2 up against Lostov, equalizing. Lostov's convincing victory looks like it's a lot less solid than it was. He has to win with Paladin against Lifecoach's last deck, a Warlock deck, which again, we've come to expect the Master of Handlock to be playing Handlock pretty much every time. But he's been shuffling the deck a bit. I think I saw him play a mid-range Warlock of recent memory. So maybe we'll see that.
Yeah, Paladin has usually been quite good against the Handlock, so... Oh, this just Tusker Jouster, so Lostov is playing at least a few new cards.
Yeah, there's at least one Tusker Jouster. At
least one Murloc.
Yeah.
No, there was two Murloc Knights. Because he played one and he had another one in his hand when the game ended. And interesting. Also, Lifecoach is bringing a Demon Handlock. Not just a Handlock, but Demon Handlock.
I love that deck. So I'm pretty happy to see him play it. It's the most interesting Handlock variant in my mind.
Yeah, it is more interesting. I tried it out, and for me, the normal standard Warlock standard Handlock has been more successful. But the Demon version definitely not bad, and it's a bit situational. Like in some matchups, it can be even better. Like against aggro, the Demon thing is better, I believe.
So my question to you is: would you play a Coin Murloc Knight? Because your only weakness is like Dark Bomb Coil, and you're forcing him to have it.
That's a good question. We also have to take into consideration what are his other plays if he does not do it. Because he might value his...
you could go Muster and just straight up force some kind of AoE.
The Muster is probably
represent the Quartermaster. Because you're representing Quartermaster here on the coin. And Lifecoach is going to be scared to hell.
Yeah, I like this a lot. If he did not have the Muster, I do think that the Murloc Knight would have been viable. If not even really good play.
Lifecoach goes for the immediate Hellfire, afraid of a Coin Quartermaster. I think that's exactly what Lostov was hoping for. Because he was representing that card like no tomorrow, and it turns out...
It's like a bit of a bluff there.
It's always I think, okay, you know what's interesting is I realize that Lostov is very good at representing and picking up on what other people are trying to represent. Unfortunately, Lifecoach is good at abusing that. It seems like he's picked up on that, on that thing, and earlier he won a game, it feels to me, because he bluffed by innervating out the Darnassus Aspirant. So I'm really liking the match between these two players.
Yeah, that's really good, because if Lifecoach knew that there's no Quartermaster, he could have just dropped a Giant. The score is 2-2. The overload is actually a bit off right now, in case somebody's wondering. Lifecoach did win 2 games. And here, Alder Peacekeeper in the hero power seems quite excellent. Let's see what...
Oh my goodness, does that change? Actually, it changes a bit, but not enough. He's so close.
He could Goghammer now and hope to get one of the Murlocs. I like the Goghammer, kinda. I mean, there's like a chance that it would land on the wrong target, but... Alright. Well, I guess that works too. I mean, he did see one Hellfire already.
Yeah, he's probably not gonna play around a second Hellfire.
No.
But Shadow Flame still sucks. It's just that on the 1-8 it doesn't do anything almost. Yeah. So he has to have a Watcher.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. What I like from Lostov's position is that if Lifecoach spends his turn 6 wiping the board, then that means his turn, like Lostov gets the initiative again. Yeah. Sometimes when you get the initiative back, you don't have cards to play and threaten your opponent. But in this case, Lostov is full of them. He's got Dr. Boom, another Murloc Knight, Shredder, Juggler. He's got a lot of things.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in Lostov's hand right now. Like a lot of really strong plays.
Respecting the Molten, looks like it.
Gonna punch that. He's wondering if he should be scared of the Moltens or not.
Yeah. At 4 though, the worst case scenario is a Molten Sun Fury. Unless your opponent goes for a Hellfire, then trades into the Murloc Knight with the Giant, and then plays a Molten for 1 and coils your 3/4. That's the worst thing here is like Hellfire Coil Molten. But it's it's a really specific scenario.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be a full clear and a Molten. Wow. But also, like, one Hellfire was played, so you don't really play around it.
Exactly. So Lostov thinks, for the most part, that he's going to be safe going forward. He's not entirely wrong, because he's at least going to get the initiative back.
That's right, and coin Dr. Boom on an empty board, or almost empty board is amazing. Like that's the worst case scenario. Like
Yeah, the worst case scenario is you get to play Doctor Boom one turn ahead of time. So I think that's a pretty good worst case scenario.
I guess he's doing quite well in this game.
Yep, looks good for Lostov so far. We'll see what Lifecoach ends up doing. He might go for a conservative Dark Bomb Giant. He's gonna go for the Hellfire play.
Yep. Can he play the Giant? He can.
Life tap for free, almost.
Yep.
All right, let's see.
That's a pretty good stand from Lifecoach still.
What does Lostov do from a position like this? It's looking dangerous, because since you can't deal with that Molten just yet, even if you play Dr. Boom, it feels like crap, because you haven't seen Shadow Flame yet. BGH hasn't been played, so...
You still play the Boom.
Yeah.
Probably trade the fish with the Giant.
Yeah, Lostov plays super well, assuming there was no second Hellfire, but unfortunately for him, that did come out.
The Goghammer is pretty good too. Because then you get the 2-1 with Taunt, and it's like... How does the Warlock get through that easily? Because you can use the weapon to clear off the 1-2. Okay. Wow, he's going aggressive here. The Boombots could even give him lethal.
Yeah, because Lifecoach can't actually go for a Healbot turn to wipe the board.
Right.
He could try anti-Healbot with the Dark Bomb, kill the 2-1, use the Giants to clean up the Dr. Boom.
Yeah. The anti-Healbot needs to happen, I guess.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear. Is I think like Lostov playing like this forces Lifecoach to have healing. Otherwise, he risks just getting blown out by Boombots.
Yeah, he could skip the Dark Bomb potentially. Huh.
So Healbot, Sun Fury, that's also pretty okay.
Yeah. But what do you even taunt up? Like the Healbot?
Yeah, Healbot and
the 8-1 if it's alive after the
Boombots hit. Yeah, it's not looking too likely, honestly, but
no.
Let's see.
Very close game.
Yeah, could be anyone's game here. Let's see what the Giant ends up doing with that Boombot.
This bomb, like, oh, that's a good result.
Perfect bomb for Lifecoach.
Yeah, really good result.
Good board. All right, let's see what ends up happening past this point. Lostov has to start maybe pulling back the aggression. Maybe it's a bit too much at this stage, going full on aggro with a board like this.
Oh, that's just very aggressive. Okay, let's see. Can he take up the heal? But that would be the best result.
Oh, he can. He kind of can, so it's not quite over. Right.
With the fish he can, yeah. Some JoE has been played.
So Lostov is going to wait for turn 8 to go for a Murloc Knight. This 5-5 contests the board nicely, in case the 4-5 gets taunted up. So these two minions from Lostov are again very resilient.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be worthy game 5.
This series has been amazing, honestly. These two players have been playing out of each other's... they're mind-gaming each other from the start to the end, and I'm loving this so far.
Yeah. Wow, another, like, difficult... He has some plays here, but it's like nothing is too perfect.
Nothing gives him the initiative. That's the biggest issue.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He's got a lot of plays, but all of them feel like they're... Lifecoach is basically banking on his opponent never finding equality.
I think Voidcaller and Sun Fury is quite good. That kind of is like the Voidcaller needs to get killed so many times, because there could be a Voidcaller from the Voidcaller.
Right, so you're getting a huge amount of discount.
So that's like really sick then. How much stats do you get from that? You get like 12 attack and 14 toughness for 4 mana, kind of. Like if it goes in that order. Obviously you don't get all the power at the same time, but for the mana cost it is quite amazing.
So Lostov, if he overextends, could get punished.
Right.
Alright, pretty good outcome here. He's going to be able to clean up 2 minions and kill up... I mean, if he's stuck with a 6-6, it's pretty bad, but it's not the end of the world. It just gives Lifecoach a huge discount.
Which one does it pull out? Oh, that's a 6-6.
That's a bit painful.
It is.
Lifecoach has got to be feeling pretty happy about that one, though, because that's a good Shadow Flame target, right? Or is...
I think he might save the Shadow Flame from her. He can just attack with the 6 against the 5-5 and, like, Dark Bomb the Shredder.
Alright, and just play it a bit slowly with the Twilight
Yeah.
Drake sent out on the board, and just try to tempo down your opponent in the late game. I could see that.
There's so many options here, but I think that keeping the Shadow Flame is something that he definitely wants to do, especially because both Hellfires are gone.
Yeah, and Muster,
it's
Quartermaster.
probably the most valuable card in his hand out of all the 8.
Good point. Because, again, if the board gets refilled by the Paladin and you don't have that Shadow Flame, you're pretty much out of it.
Right. I'd be surprised if he started with a tap here. Like a Twilight Drake and then like Dark Bomb. Or maybe Dark Bomb first to see what happens. Okay. Alright, taking the Shredder first, I guess.
This is a story of how Hellfire...
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's not going to kill a Shredder.
Interesting.
Or is he? I mean, he has to if he's using the Dark Bomb.
Oh, wow, not risking the Doomsayer.
Yeah, the only way I lose is if Doomsayer comes out. Uh-oh.
Equality.
That is dangerous, and it's coming down at a really great time from Lostov, where he's got very little to lose here.
Yeah.
He has almost nothing to lose.
Amazing against Handlock. That card alone is the main reason why this matchup is usually considered to be Paladin favorite.
So does Lostov even play Juggler Murloc Knight here?
Yeah.
Or
it's pretty good.
Because Murloc Knight without an immediate activation.
No, he actually can't. No, yeah, true. He can't hero ball afterwards. He's 1 mana now, so just a hero ball, yeah. Okay. Because he knows that the Shadow Flame could still be there.
And Lifecoach again on the back foot, having to play from behind, trying to re-establish a board. Well, that's a pretty cute card, but it better not come out of that Void Caller, because your win condition's out the window.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's time for that just yet. I mean, no way.
I almost don't see anything but Ancient Watcher, Healbot, and then play something else depending. Oh, no, that's too dangerous, unless you taunt it up. Oh man,
wow.
The scare Void Caller, Watcher, Sun Fury is such a scary play, because it doesn't give you back the board ever if this gets dealt with.
Oh man, this is actually a rough spot.
Yeah, Lifecoach has to be playing scared from here on out.
What do you think of playing Ancient Watcher, Sun Fury, and then Shadow Flaming the Sun Fury? So then you would have a 4/5 taunt. It would kind of like set you up for that.
Right. I like that. That's a pretty cool play you're mentioning there, because it wipes up the board. I mean, your only weakness is a Muster Quartermaster. You've seen one Muster, so you can't quite afford playing around that necessarily, since he hasn't drawn too many cards. All right, so he's gonna just let his opponent get away with Jiraxes being thrown on the board and rely on heal bots to keep him alive.
I think that with this play, he recognized that okay, the Paladin is already down to 15. Like he doesn't need the Infernals to win, because the Jiraxes it will hit the board now instead of getting played from hand. It's quite good to play from hand at times, like going into the late game.
Oh my God! Look at this from Lostov with the Murloc Knight being played. What will it summon? If
another old Murkai?
Let it hope. Oh.
Ooh, well, that's one of the better ones for sure.
Yeah, draw a card when a Murloc dies.
2/5. Wow.
Pretty big minion. And now Doomsayer comes out and Lostov never plays Hearthstone again. This is a story of how Lostov quit the game.
And so many feels bad, man. Spammed in the chat after that one.
Well, let's see what Lostov ends up doing. It's so scary.
Yeah, there might be a Malaganis waiting on the
and then you get
the Void
blown
Caller.
out.
What if there's a Malaganis in the Void Caller? Oh man.
Not Piggle, I'll take that. Yeah. So he thinks taking Malaganis to the face is fine because he's seen 2 Dark Bombs, so he doesn't think there's another one. He's seen the Hellfire as well. So what could kill him? A Power Overwhelming, I guess, at this stage? Or, yeah, Power Overwhelming would probably be...
Oh! That is a great draw. He can actually Shadow Flame that for the full clear. Or do you even want to Shadow Flame that?
Yeah, does he even need to with a heal bot?
Maybe he doesn't need to.
Could he just go...
They're blowing up the heal, but it's not good enough.
What do you think
about...
blow
up the Emperor. Like, he doesn't need the discounts from Emperor for anything anymore.
Right, I was gonna ask you, do you think Emperor, Molten, Shadow Flame is fine, or is leaving your health this low too risky? Because I don't expect the Paladin to come up with any kind of crazy burst.
Paladin doesn't have any burst. Like equality avenging rat and things like that are kind of out of meta. There's no Leroy. Leroy isn't very popular either. So if you get a full clear, Even with the True Silver out there, it's very unlikely. Well, usually impossible.
Tyrion might be a problem, but that's always something you have to. It's a pill you have to
swallow. See that, like Shadow Flaming the Emperor. That's like probably the best play, and he's going for it.
All right, he's got lethal next turn if Lostov doesn't pick up an answer, and it's not looking likely that he will. I mean, that's 11 damage guaranteed on the board.
No! Even after healing with the True Silver.
Yeah, he's dead. It doesn't do anything. There's no way for Lostov to win.
Wow!
Lifecoach takes the series with a crazy reverse sweep over Lostov, who felt like he was fine, but he's going to have to move on to the loser's bracket to hope to climb back to move on to group stage phase 2. So again, the games are not quite over between the players we've seen today. The losers will be facing off against each other. So we'll probably see some cool games. Cypher moved on, and Lifecoach did.
That was really cool match right there. Again, like all 5 games, and that last one, it's so back and forth. It was so difficult to tell. And Lifecoach in the end, he was with some really awesome decision making and like making some bold plays there. Like that Jaraxxus on the board just as a 315, not playing it from the hand. It gave him like the tempo back in a way.
Yeah, he was playing from the back foot all game long, and he needed to get that one turn where he swung, the tempo back in his favor. It took forever, but he finally got it done and took the game. That Molten Giant top deck was crucial, though, because I think the damage might have amounted to maybe a bit too much over the following turns if you hadn't found it, and he was in no position to life tap. So would have been a bit more difficult had that Molten been something else. That being said, guys, we'll be taking a short break before we come back. We're going to start casting the losers brackets matches. You guys will have hopefully another round of cool games. The people who are playing today will be using the same decks. They can't just switch decks during the same day. They can do it between stages, but not every single game they play. So that being said, we'll be right back after the break. Don't go anywhere.
From east to west, heroes are sent, seeking glory in the greatest of events. There are knights on noble steeds, those who will bring them to their knees. There are monsters to test their mettle at every turn. Legends will rise based on their merits. There's even pirates riding parrots. It's the grand